And hello traders, and welcome to another video. So in this video we are going to talk about forecasts. Okay, so forecasting, one of the most important things, guys, that you need to be focused on. So basically, we can agree that after backtesting, this is the single most important thing that you should be doing. So forecasting is going to take you places that you have not ever imagined. So basically, all of my chart work and everything, how I draw on the charts and everything comes from forecasting. So it really, really, really amazing exercise that you need to do daily. So usually we do forecast 2 times a day, guys. So once in the morning. So let's say maybe you have school, you're attending college, or you have, work, and you're not going to be able to, check the charts, all the time. So this is why, that morning forecast is actually really important. So you're going to wake up, do your daily routine, morning routine. I'm going to send the charts, and you're just gonna break down the charts. So you're gonna go through all the pairs, and you are going to see what is happening on the charts. So let's say, for example, you're analyzing everything and you start from Euro USD. So you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready for your day. So before you go to work or university or whatever, so you're just gonna check the charts and do your daily forecast in the morning. So what you want to do is just look at the chart, and you're going to see, okay, this is your USD. Currently we have this momentum, but price action is still being corrective. It's ranging in between this low and this high. And I know I'm not going to trade anything before, I see the price action is breaking this low or this high. So that means you're not going to check on your USD for the whole day. Okay. Or maybe, for at least 5-6 hours. So maybe in 5-6 hours, price action is going to break the low, retrace, and you're going to have a trade. So again, but you are not going to flag it, and you're not going to check it all the time. So nothing important is going to happen in the next couple of hours. In 5-6 hours, maybe this happens, and you break the low, and then price starts to retrace, and again gives you this breakout. So maybe you're going to have the trade. But again, it needs to happen a lot. So maybe 6, 7, 8 hours before the trade happens. So you already know you have room for like 6, 7 hours before something happens, and you can check your charts on your USD. So it's going to help you tremendously, because you're not going to be in stress checking, all the pairs. You're just going to flag the pairs that, maybe you have something interesting on that, can be tradable in the next couple of hours. You're just going to flag it and check on them. So you're going to go and look at, Euro JPY, and I'm going to say, okay, maybe here I'm going to have trading utility in the next couple of hours. So you see the price action is breaking these lows. We have this, descending price action on AJ that is perfectly fine. We have this impulse downside, and you have this, or block, this inside bar or block that you can trade from. So in the next couple of hours, maybe we're going to have a trade right now on Euro JPY. This is important that you know. Okay, so what can happen is the price action is gonna retrace to this order block and then give you an entry for the continuation push down. Okay, so you are going to get ready. You're gonna be ready, and this is why forecasting is really, really important, because you're preparing yourself in advance to take the trade. So you're not just like reacting all of the sudden. You have your entry, and then boom, what am I gonna do now? Oh, I'm gonna enter the trade, or I'm gonna ignore this trade. Oh, let me think, is this trade actually my trade plan? Oh, let me check my checklist. You do not have time to react if you do not forecast, if you're just trading. So this is why forecasting in advance is basically preparing yourself for the outcome. Okay, so you're gonna forecast in advance, couple of hours before the actual trade happens. This is gonna give you basically time. You're gonna have a time to check your emotions if everything is in place, check your trade plan if that trade fits your trade plan, check your checklist. If all the boxes are checked before you enter a trade, you're gonna have time. You're gonna get prepared because again, you're gonna forecast in advance. It's always better to forecast, a couple of hours before the entry. You already know what needs to happen in order for you to execute a trade. So let's say, for example, you want to trade this if price action comes correctively. So next couple of hours this can happen. So what you need to see is price action breaking above, then retracing, breaking above, retracing, breaking above. So at least 3 to 4 or 5 hours, of price action needs to play out in order for you to execute a trade. In next 2 hours, nothing can happen. Why? Because in the next couple of hours, we can only see volatility. And let's say you do not want to execute the trade in volatility, you're not gonna basically trade anything. So you're not gonna have an entry at least 2 hours or more. If price action pulls back aggressively to your order block, you are not interested in trading that because this indicates volatility. So you're telling yourself that when you're forecasting. So I need to see a bigger range. So you're already confirming that in your head that only if price action starts to correctively come to your order block, then you're gonna look for execution. And if price action comes aggressively in volatility, you're not gonna trade that. And this is gonna help you because basically you're not gonna have missed trades, guys. You're never gonna miss trade. You're always going to be prepared, and you always are going to know what do you want to see in order to execute a trade. So you're not gonna get caught, in the wrong momentum, in wrong market. So let's say, for example, price comes back aggressively, and you haven't done your forecast, and price action is coming like here. Coming like here. And basically about to tag you in your entry, and then you see a trade, and then you see descending price action, price breaking the lows, we have momentum, most likely price is going to continue to downside, and then boom, all of a sudden emotions kick in. You haven't done your forecast, you see the price action is pushing to the downside, momentum is present, and you do not have enough time to react. And you already know, guys, basically when we're trading, we're trading emotionally. So sometimes we're just gonna ignore the negative confluences and we're just gonna focus on positive ones because we actually want to trade, we want to get involved in a setup. We feel that fear of missing out. So it can happen that you are basically going to look at charts, not get prepared in advance, and you're just gonna react. And you're gonna set your limit order, pending order, and boom, price is gonna melt up. And then you're gonna be like, wow, what happened here? Why did I do that? And forecasting is gonna fix this. Why? Because you are preparing your basically subconscious mind to know what you need to look at and what needs to happen in order for you to get involved in a trade. So you're telling yourself, I wanna see corrective pullback. If corrective pullback comes in the next couple of hours, then I'm gonna take the trade. If that doesn't happen, I do not care. This trade is not in my trade plan. So believe me, it's gonna help you tremendously, especially guys, when you're let's say on a little bit of drawdown. So you're trading FTMO and you know already the max loss on FTMO that you can have is 10%. So let's say you end up in 5% minus. That's almost 50% of your capital, gone. So you do not have a lot of room right now for trading. So right now, currently you're playing under the gun. You feel a little bit of fear because you only have 5% and they're gonna take your account away. So there is a pressure involved in those situations. And sometimes in those situations, we feel fear of executing the trade. Because what happens right now, if we execute the trade and after the execution, trade goes bad and tags us out of the position, and right now both we lost another 1%, so we're right now minus 6%. So we feel that fear and we think about a negative scenario. We think about that negative outcome because we are playing that under the gun, basically, under the massive pressure of losing our account. We're thinking about basically, oh, I have only 5% and I'm gonna lose account, they're gonna take it away from me. So you are going to have fear of executing on those kind of situations. And forecasting can help you again with that, because again, guys, you're gonna forecast in advance and you're gonna prepare your mind for the thing that you want to see actually. And you are going to be more confident in your execution when you have already forecasted that trade in advance. This is why I'm telling you, when you're trading lower time frames, you do not have enough time to basically think about the trade, because everything is happening so fast. Bam, 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 bam. You know, reaction, charge, momentum, imbalance, blah, 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 liquidity, blah, blah, blah. Everything happens so fast, and you do not have enough time to think. You know, this is why trading on a lower time frame can be, you know, hard sometimes. But when you're trading like this, you're marking your point of interest on higher time frames, like 1 hour, and you just wait to see what price action does. So if price action comes back, you know, correctly to your block, and then boom, when it taps here, then you're switching to lower time frames, and then you're looking at lower time frames. But you have actually forecasted that in advance, that point of interest. So you actually have respected your trade plan because price had come, you know, correctly to your block. If price comes aggressively, poof, you do not take it, you ignore it, you skip it. On to the next one, you do not care about it. So again, forecasting is going to help you tremendously in all different aspects of trading, guys. I really recommend you to draw on the charts. So you see me doing forecasts, you know, I'm recording the videos for you guys, and my chart is always naked. I do not have any drawings on it. So basically that's the level that you want to get, you know, but you cannot skip, you know, the process and just do that. You need to go step by step. So I would recommend you to draw on the charts. So again, guys, when you're forecasting, you actually want to ask yourselves 3 things. So first thing is, what is price action telling me? So what price action is doing, basically. So you're going to break down every single detail of the previous chart, what is chart doing, what price action is doing. Second thing is, you are going to ask yourself, what can I forecast? So that's the second question. So I can forecast price action coming back to this order block, or I can forecast price action maybe doing something like this, giving me another breakout. So I need to be ready for that as well. Or I can forecast, you know, price action coming back and just retracing here and then giving me a breakout to the upside. You know, you can forecast all those things, all those scenarios you're going to forecast in advance, and you're going to draw it on the charts. Okay. And the third question you're going to ask yourself is, do I have a high probability setup I can trade right now? So those are the 3 questions. What is price action doing? The previous price action, you're breaking down the previous price action, the whole chart. And the second question you're asking yourself is, what can I forecast in advance? And the third question is, do I have a high probability entry? Okay, so those are the 3 questions. And I really do suggest you to draw on the charts, everything on the charts. You can go and open the channel forecast. You can see how other members are forecasting. So you can do the same. So this is going to help you to understand price action more in details, believe me. So everything that I have done, you look at my charts, you see them, they're clean, they're nice, they're, you know, everything is beautiful. That's because I have done a lot of forecasting, a lot of drawings. I'm at this point right now that I do not need to do that. Basically, I'm just reading the naked chart. I do not need any markings on my chart. But again, I didn't, you know, skip all those steps. So with the drawing, you are going to day after day after day build that, you know, knowledge about price action, and you are going to come on that level that you do not need to draw on the charts. You can just do your forecast or record a video of yourself, you know, doing your forecast, you know, maybe reviewing it later, you know, to check if everything is correct, etc., etc. But again, drawing is better because you're not going to miss anything as well, you know. So again, when we're trading, our mind play tricks on us, and we actually want to see only what we want to see and not actually, you know, what is really happening, because, you know, we have emotions. And this is why drawing on the charts and marking every little detail on the chart, you cannot make a mistake. Okay, that way you cannot make a mistake. When you have drawn everything on the charts, you have mark your order blocks, mark supply zones, mark breakout structures, every little detail, you know, imbalance, liquidity, everything. So when you mark it, you don't have a room for mistakes. Okay, so again, begin with drawing on the charts, doing your forecasting, and then as you advance, as you build experience, you actually do not need to draw anymore on charts. You can do the forecast like I am doing, just breaking down the charts, naked charts, and again, that's a little bit step ahead. So again, guys, you're gonna do a forecast in the morning and forecast in the evening. Forecast in the evening is important because we go to sleep, and sometimes maybe you have trades in Asia session. I mean, that's night for me. Asia session is night for me, where I live. So when I go to sleep, it's night in Asia. Maybe I'm gonna have a trade on AUD USD. AUD USD for me, there is sometimes the trades that I like to trade, or AUD JPY or something like that. So maybe I sometimes need to wake up, to take the trade. It's gonna happen. So it doesn't happen a lot of times, usually doesn't, but sometimes there is something that's gonna happen, and you're gonna have trades in Asia. For me, that's night. Asia session is night. And sometimes I need to wake up. I need to do my evening forecast. I need to check the charts and see if I have something to trade on a specific pair. And if I have something, I'm gonna set my alarm and I'm gonna wake up. So again, let's talk about that as well. Maybe you have a situation like this. So first, when I started doing that, I had a little bit of problem, and I made a couple of mistakes. What happened is that I was woke, so I set an alarm, I was woke, and I made a mistake because I was sleepy. So I would look for the trade, and I was sleeping. I would wake up, and I would look at the price action, and because I was not focused enough on the charts, I would execute the trades, and I would wake up in the morning and there would be losses. So yeah, and actually what I figure out is because I'm sleepy, I'm not concentrated, I'm not focused, and I make mistakes. So this is why and that doesn't happen a lot of times, but sometimes it does. I need to wake up, and when I wake up, I make sure that I'm really awake. So usually I have traded from the comfort of my bed. Just open the phone, alarm is ringing, blah, blah, blah. I wake up, I see the charts, I open the trade. Now I do not do that. So now if I want to take the trade, I need to walk. I need to, go a little bit and, circle around the house, or maybe, put a little bit of water on my head just to wake me up or something, So just that I'm fully waked up and I can concentrate on charts. So I do not make any mistakes. So it can happen if you just, wake up and you check your phone and you see the charts, but you're sleepy and you're not concentrated, and you think you trip something and you want to get involved in a trade, and then later you wake up and see you have made a mistake. So that can happen. Watch out for that. And this is basically my new routine. When I wake up, I make sure that I'm really waked up, that I'm not sleeping anymore, that I have my concentration on, I have my focus on, and then I'm making my decisions. So basically, we do not have a lot of trades in the night, guys, but it can happen. So still, you need to be prepared. You do not want to miss a massive trade that's gonna basically bring you profits for next 5 months because you were lazy. You didn't want to do your forecast in the evening, and you were not prepared, and you didn't want to wake you for in the night. So it can happen. So never eliminate the fact that it cannot happen. So better to be prepared than regret later. So always prepare in advance, guys, and this is what forecasting is: preparing yourself in advance. So yeah, basically this is again your process in the morning. You're breaking down the charts, then you're seeing your AUD USD, for example. You see the correction, then you tell yourself, okay, I'm not gonna trade it. You skip it. And then AJ, okay, I'm maybe gonna trade it. Price is most likely going to break this low right now. We have left a week. Maybe if I see the retrace, pull back to this order block, I'm gonna have a trade in like 6-7 hours or something. If that happens, if it does, I'm not gonna trade it. So you already know what's up here. So basically, you're gonna do that. So you're just gonna prepare yourself in advance. So you make sure that you do not make any trading mistakes. You never miss trades, and basically, you're gonna eliminate the fear. you're gonna eliminate a lot of emotions, and basically you're also going to advance as a trader, advance in, you know, reading the price action, understanding what price action is doing, what price action is saying to you. Forecasting is really one of the most important things that you need to do, you know, daily. So from forecasting, you're gonna trade. So never, like, you can maybe set in your checklist that you do not want to open a trade if you have not forecasted a trade in advance. Believe me, it can save you a lot of percentages. So you're gonna see yourself taking entries that you have not forecasted in advance and their losses. Okay, and set in the checklist, you know, a little checkbox that you do not want to exit the trade if it's not forecasted. You're gonna see how many percentage you're gonna save yourself from losing. So I promise you. Okay, so a little box, just tick it before you enter a trade. Trade forecast in advance, yes, no, yes, boom, I can take the trade. It's gonna help you tremendously, believe me. So basically that's forecasting, guys. Preparing yourself in advance so you do not miss trades, you don't have emotions while trading. It's gonna boost your knowledge about price action. It's gonna help you really in every aspect of trading that's possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, guys, draw when you're beginning, draw on the charts and send your charts in Discord channels so we can check them out, correct them, tell you something maybe that you have missed or you didn't see. You know, also you can speak with our members, you know, about charts and everything, you know, see some different ideas, you know, etc, etc. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Forecasting, and I hope you enjoyed it, hope you liked it, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.